As promised last time, we will focus on the return of the legendary coach Julian Nagelsmann to meet up with the new Hoffenheim side and his once-upon-a-time close partner Elvis Roder in Red Bull Arena this Saturday. Before taking this more about the match, there has been something special about our annual general meeting early this week. The club president Hoffmann delivered a sincere yet scornful speech against the seasonal ticket holders and the all Hoffenheim supporters when the team hosts Fortuna Düsseldorf last Saturday. In absence of the club owner Dietmar Hopp, he criticized the supporters. They were unreasonable to give the team a boo and whistle starting from the beginning of the match, doubling the recent statements of disapproval in a 1-1 draw against Düsseldorf from the club. Hoffmann said, "It is 1-0 for us. After the 1-5 defeat against Mainz, our team needs support. They are all only human, also on the pitch. With the whistle, you also meet up those responsible." The player, staff, 500 members in the meeting gave a wholehearted applause following his speech, signifying unconditional and unanimous support to the club decision. He continued to say that one could and should generally not be satisfied with the performance of our team. We too, that's what we were on Saturday. But whistling in a 1-0 lead has something to do with respect. Professor Jan Meyer, Hoffenheim sports psychologist, also sent out his questions to the supporter. Discipline, meticulousness, and mutual support are indispensable. He returned to the incident to his following appeal. Do we even apologize for the fact that we have not become German champions after 10 years in the Bundesliga? Will the supporters overreact? Or they have the right to do that? Well, I really understand that the team should not have lost already 3 times in the Pre-Zero arena in the first half of the season. Their results, the supporter result, should have been treated as an alarm to the whole team instead of expressing merely the anger. We support you, so that we definitely express our discontent over the team's unexplainable performances. Hope the comeback will resume in the coming match. Well, it is not exactly comfortable to make the results over the 90 minutes, as you know. So back to our main topic today. The first matchup of the Nagelsmann reunion with the ex-player and colleagues should be very interesting. After assisting Nagelsmann in the dugout from October 2015 to January 2018, Elvis Roder led Hoffenheim for the ripening IS and worked with Erik ten Hag. He learned enormous amount from Julian. At IS, as an assistant coach, he tried and set up the training session in the way Julian does. Every week, they have the specific focus. They were the colleagues. They were once friends. They were once also partners for nearly 2.5 years. Of course, they also have been in contact after departing the club, after 2018. Well, on the other hand, they were also a mentor and a student. The team essentially had 2 head coaches. Of course, both were not particularly an experienced coach, so that they could discuss and develop incessantly about the new football system and formation. Of course, Nagelsmann was the chief architect, framing the possible scenarios on pitch, and Elvis Roder being the one to execute during their daily training sessions. They both demonstrate that a brand of football that is also a feature of Hoffenheim: courageous, fresh, and attacking. But what differs from one another is that the Dutch demand dominant football with the necessary effectiveness. As we've seen in the recent matches, playing football that excites people is his motto. But we also want to play offensively and courageously without any naive. Alfred is also the counter-proposal to Nagelsmann on the basis that he is a matter-of-fact analyst, not an entertainer. He keeps a closer relationship with the player and the coaching team. He has been very sincere, considerate, and willing to communicate with others, at least a little bit better than Nagelsmann. The two stylistic companions who know each other very well enough should be the highlights of this long-awaited matchup this Saturday. Plus, the presence of RB Leipzig is still regarded as the evil representatives in the German soccer because of their role to the Bundesliga. One must try very hard to defeat them on the pitch. The debacle against Mainz was very alarming to Alfred team. Those Roder said the team learned from the mistakes. I really start to worry about the team's mental condition and the winning determination. What Hoffenheim showed in the last home turf matches was far below the standard and out of shape. Too many chances were given to the opponents and not enough chances were created to the strikers. That has to be turned around as soon as possible before we even talk about getting the advantages over Nagelsmann's aggressive and diligent side. Well, in this program, we often talk about the tactics of Hoffenheim, but of course, nothing about RB Leipzig in the program. Under the leadership of the Hoffenheim's most successful coach in the history, Julian Nagelsmann, RB Leipzig has still been subsequently seen playing with a high press without the ball, usually in different shapes, switching between 3 centre-backs and 4 centre-backs formation. He often employed what he did in Hoffenheim for the last few years, but somehow the shape has not been exactly the same. Although RB Leipzig usually will definitely approach the game with their usual routine of dominating the possession, he has been spotted in using a rather defensive mindset in the beginning of this season and also in some of the Champions League matches so far. Remember how he did in the match against Guardiola Manchester City when he was still in charge of Hoffenheim last season? In the home match against Manchester City, the player discipline and concentration were top class throughout the match. Nagelsmann could become more flexible as he could this season. RB Leipzig also doesn't mind the passive tactics and fully casts a vote of confidence to Nagelsmann. For the usual attacking formation, he employs either 4-4-2 or 3-5-2, which was his signature tactics in Hoffenheim. Demi and Neymar are the two irreplaceable double pivot. Demi is very essential with his work rate and man marking skills. If RB Leipzig loses this block, no tackling and marking could be made effective to the opponent. Neymar is the follow-up pivot who also makes some deep laying passes and link-up movements. At the back, the recent injury problem led Julians to use Isenka and even Klosterman on the centre-backs, as Konate and Orban are both injured. The wing-backs role played by the energetic Mukili and Halsterberg could curb most of our supporting force from the flank. The attacking troops relies on the mobilizing forces of Sabitzer and Forsberg. The latter comes inside often this season to help to strengthen the passing movement and circulation coming from the middle areas. The frequent exchange of positions and quick rotation of the ball is a key factor in making the possession sustainable and intense. Making use of wingbacks, Halstenberg and Klosterman is another main feature of RB Leipzig's attacking forces, resembling the function of Kaderbeck and Schulz previously in Hoffenheim. He even positioned them on the right and the left midfield areas in order to fully utilize their attacking credential. The trio of Timo Werner, Poulsen, Sabitzer or Forsberg would often be spotted interchanging positions. The Danes came inside with Werner and Sabitzer, creating space in wide spaces on the both flanks. The introduction of a recently recovered former Roma striker, Patrick Schick, could be an uncertain factor, adding the aerial superiority to the team. For a more defensive formation, he could employ only the lone striker, like the teenager Nkunku, supported by the defensive striker Poulsen alongside Sabitzer or Forsberg. The whole team would be pushed back to his own half, leaving not much space to the opponent to make half-space interchange and create the attacking width from the backs. Yet, their counter-attacks could be very dangerous and incisive. The flexible formation seems to be let other teams very difficult when thinking about the tactics on the pitch. So, in the coming match, what should Hoffenheim do to deal with this formation, and what are the possible weaknesses of the RB Leipzig? As Nagelsmann is a coach that usually looks into the opponent's weakness, RB Leipzig will not necessarily approach the game with their usual routine of dominating the possession and creating bombarding opportunities at goals. Schroeder, on the other hand, may need to stay solid in the defensive midfield areas and the defensive line, and try to invite Nagelsmann to dominate the match as much as possible. The second thing is Upcomeno, Isenka, Klosterman, and even the teenager Apatu are not the quick centre-backs. Pace will surely be required in order to put in last-ditch tackles given with any circumstances. Therefore, we have to rely on the sudden big arrays coming from either wingbacks or Adam Young or Bilbao. In this way, their centre-backs need to supplement the role of the right-backs or left-back, quite often granting more space to our midfield players like Geiger and Grealish is making shots in their own penalty area. Well, another very important point is Gulassi, their goalkeeper, is still injured until early next week. So the more shots we make, the more goal scoring opportunities we could have. Their second goalkeeper, Morgo, is still rather inexperienced and not a better choice. RB Leipzig is still not very good to create the chances with ease, especially when not given the space and the counter-attacking opportunities. Elvis Roder may require Hoffenheim to defend in a 4-4-1-1 or 4-4-2 mid-block formation, where he should appoint Rudy and Grealish to stay focused, or in my opinion, try not fight to stay focused over when RB Leipzig were to build up. Either Rudy or not fight was a considerable utility to sort this out, as they often drop deep to receive the ball and switch play and circulate the possession whenever other teammates closely followed. And the team should not let the opponents to push the defensive block back to our own penalty areas so easily. Alphas Roder needs to instruct our players not to give away the ball quite cheaply around the 20 to 30 yards in front of our own penalty areas, excluding the flank areas. On the ball, quick and successive long passes are very essential to catch the sore areas and the weakness link of RB Leipzig. The attacking positions will considerably be shaped in a 4-1-3-2 formation with Schoff and Carterback or even Bernat providing the width. It is very clearly to us that the off-the-ball positioning and interplay of our attacking forces are the crucial winning factor on Saturday. So let's see if the student could make a surprise to the mentor on Saturday. This could also be a turning point to Hoffenheim this season if the team got the away 3 points.